you react if everything dear to you was taken away in an instant? On a beautiful, calm Sunday afternoon, a Christian named Paramesvaran was enjoying himself at the beach with his children and Hindu family members.
And he said then his son looked around and said, "Daddy, Daddy, what is that?" And when Paramesvaran turned around, he saw this giant 30-foot wave coming in. And he turned to his son and grabbed his hand and said, "Run."
I told my son, "Kripasan, run fast."
And so him and his son began running, and the wave crested over them. Then as they were slammed into the ground, as he was struggling to fight for his own life, he let go of the hand of his son.
Until today, I couldn't recognize how I lost my son.
Paramesvaran was slammed into a coconut tree where he held on for dear life. The scars are still visible from the force of the ocean trying to pull him from the tree. Once the wave subsided, Paramesvaran discovered all 10 of his family members, including his 3 children, were dead. In the midst of his overwhelming grief, the unthinkable happened.
That was the next day my brother came. He was shouting, "Where is your Jesus? Why he did not save you?"
Basically then Paramesvaran said that he was angry at God as well as his wife, because he said, "How could God do this to me? How could he take everything away from me like that?"
After a season of sorrow that included thoughts of suicide, God began to work in Paramesvaran's heart.
God began to give him a new hope. He began to open his heart and realize that even though he had lost everything, that the hope in Christ he had was greater than anything he had lost.
With a desire in his soul to be used by God and wanting to reach out to the orphans in nearby villages, he turned to Southern Baptist workers in the area.
He had a desire to help them, but he had no money. He had a passion to try to help them get back on their feet, but he didn't know how.
Filled with compassion, Southern Baptists responded by providing all the physical needs to start an orphanage.
They had lost like he had, but without the comfort he had from Jesus. So he wanted them to have that comfort he had, even in the midst of his loss.
Now, almost 5 years later, God has once again blessed Paramesvaran and his wife with 2 new children and 20 orphans who all have accepted Christ. The older ones are even preaching. Through his work in the villages where his orphans are from, Paramesvaran has planted 2 churches and has seen the gospel spread. None of this would have been possible without Southern Baptist support. Paramesvaran's story is just one example of how anything is possible with God, and how the funds provided through the cooperative program and the Lottie Moon Christmas offering, together with more than $17 million in aid given for tsunami relief by Southern Baptists, has opened doors once closed to the gospel.
There was a Luke 8 chapter verses 27 say that, which is not possible with man, it's possible with God.